Hello, hello, it's Andy. I want to start out this stream by saying that I am not sponsored by anyone, but today I figured I would do a video, go live, and actually I'm going to dose my saltwater and my freshwater tanks today using products from Seachem. Now, of course, once again, I'm not sponsored by Seachem, but that's the products that I use. And if anybody is here, please say something in chat if you have any questions as I go along. I will refer back to the chat, to answer anything. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to start off by dosing my freshwater tanks. The first thing I'm going to do is use the Seachem Flourish. I use Flourish about once every week, sometimes twice a week, and each capful doses for us. Let me make sure about that. Yeah, for 60 gallons, and most of my tanks are 20 longs. So I'm going to dose about half a cap full in each of my tanks. And of course, for the bigger tank, I'm going to use a bigger dosage. Because all of these tanks are together. All right, so the Flourish, what it does is basically your comprehensive fertilizer. It's got your nitrogen, phosphate, potash, calcium, magnesium, water-soluble magnesium, sulfur, boron, chlorine, cobalt, copper. So that being said, with the copper, if you have a heavily planted tank with shrimp, you want to be kind of easy with copper. Shrimp don't like copper. Iron, which iron is only 0.32% iron, so I actually use Seachem's iron as a buffer to kind of like offset that, because iron gets used the quickest. And since I'm only dosing once a week, twice a week, I go ahead and bump that number up a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now since I'm done the Flourish. I will use the iron. And each cap full of iron is 60 gallons as well. So I'm going to do about 1/3 capful in each tank. Now that will make my tanks a little bit iron heavy, but that's okay. The plants that I have here are not sensitive to iron, and they will pretty much consume whatever I put in there. Then the third one that I use is going to be potassium. And of course, I'm just making this video if any of my customers ever wondering how I get my tanks to grow plants like they do. They come and say, "Oh, well, how are your plants so green?" All that kind of stuff. And basically, this is what I do. So each cap of potassium does about 30 gallons. So I'm gonna put about 2/3 a cap in each tank. Now we're done with the potassium. I will use Envy, which is a how do you say it? It is the amino acids and whatnot for the plants. So they like this stuff too. Each capsule does gallons, 30 gallons, excuse me. So I'm going to do about 2/3 capsule each tank. All right. And now that I am done with the Envy, the only thing left to do is I use a little bit of the Flourish Advance, which is a photohormone. Hey, what's up, Redfish, Bluefish? I'm doing good, my man. I'm just kind of hanging out at the shop. It's a little bit of a slow day. So I thought I would make a little video about how I dose my tanks around here. People come in, say, well, how do you get this to happen? How do you get this to happen? So I'm just kind of going through my regiment. I've already, on the freshwater side, I've already dosed Flourish, potassium, and I bumped it up, the iron up also with just your regular iron supplement. And lastly, the Flourish Advance. And each one of these does 20 gallons, I believe. Yeah, so I'll put about one capsule. What Flourish Advance does is a photohormone who helps the root development in the plants. So a good root system is very important for your plants. The more healthy that the roots are, the more the plants will propagate out. Or grow out, you know. That is it. That is it for the freshwater side. And then on my saltwater side, I literally just dosed the Reef 1, Reef 2, and Fuel. And also I put some purple up in there too, just for some extra bump there. My frag system here is about 110 gallons. So the cap in each tank. Now each one of these tanks are actually running off of the same sump. So I'll probably, yeah, about 110 gallons, I would say. We're not doing measurements or tests or anything. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It says, I'm doing a short live stream in about 2 hours that I'll find interesting. I'm going to show you how I do some weird, unconventional stuff with hardscape. Cool, man. I will definitely catch it. I may have to catch the repeat of it because here, when I'm done with this, I've got to go out and have 3 or 4 tanks to go service today. I appreciate you stopping me in and saying that, though, man. That is, I do appreciate that. So anyway, back to the dosing. Refusion 1, which is the calcium, I just dosed the alkalinity portion. You're supposed to let the alkalinity run for about a minute or so before you dose the other. As far as the reef tanks go, you got two, the way I see it, you have 2 parts of a reef tank. You have biology and you have chemistry. Your biology will be the, your nitrogen cycle, your ammonia, your nitrite, your nitrate. Hey, what's up, Alex? Yeah, right on, redfish, bluefish. But yeah, so in a reef tank, you got biology and chemistry. Biology is going to be your nitrogen cycle, and your chemistry is going to be your dance between your alkalinity, your calcium, and magnesium. Once you get that triangle going, when of course that triangle changes shape as it goes along. That's why we do water tests. But once you get those two going, your corals, unless the coral is sick, you should be successful with it. Your salinity, about 1.024 to 1.026 is where I keep mine. Let me get this tank back here. I'll be right back. And your calcium, right around 420. Your magnesium around 1200. And your alkalinity should be, I've seen alkalinity in saltwater tanks run as low as 7 and be perfectly fine, and run as high as 12 and be perfectly fine. You kind of have to find that sweet spot pertaining to what you have going in your tank. For example, a SBS or basically a stony coral tank will use your nutrients quicker than one that has nothing but soft corals like your mushrooms, green star polyps, kenya trees, and that kind of stuff. So I've done reef 1 and reef 2 and all of my coral tanks. Next thing I'm going to do is the fuel, which is amino acids for your reef. And this stuff really does spark growth, especially in my orange cap monophoras. I have several frags that are about 5 inches from one side to the other. And if I don't move them off of either the glass or the egg crate once a week, they literally grow onto the egg crate that fast. And I say it's because of the fuel. This stuff is a phenomenal product. Now, then again, I'm not going to say just this one. I know Red Sea just came out with a new one that is pretty good. I haven't used it, but I've read reviews on it, and everybody's had a lot of really good luck with it. And then lastly, to spark some coralline algae growth and to kind of bring my calcium up just a little bit, I like to use this Purple Up by Carob Sea. Got to shake it really good because all of the elements really settle at the bottom. So it comes with a marble in it, kind of like a spray paint can. You got to shake it up. Each cap does, I think, 55 gallons. And I put a little bit less than the recommended dosage. But I've also noticed some advanced coral growth using this also along with the fuel. All right. So everybody who stuck with me through all that boring stuff, I'm glad that y'all are still here. But like I said, I just kind of wanted to do that video because I have a lot of people come in and asking how I get my corals and my plants to do what they do. And that's basically what I do. Keep my biology in check, keep my chemistry in check, and make sure that the plants and the corals have the nutrients and the proper lighting that they need to flourish. See what I did there with the CChem flourish? I'm going to grab my drink and I'm going to be right back. My white clouds. Okay, so I wasn't here, and my white cloud, the pair that I had, I mean, I guess all white clouds are breed. They don't necessarily pair up, but the ones that I had that were breeding got sold. So now I have a 20-gallon tank with like 4 fry. And since I have been feeding the, what do you call it? Phytoplankton. I started feeding phytoplankton to the fry. They're definitely not dying off like they were, because I was getting batches of 7 and 8, and then over time they, one would drop off, then another one would drop off. And I can only assume there's just not enough Infusoria or Daphnia. Hey, what's up, Bob? In the tank for the fry, because the white cloud minnow fry are, I mean, they are teeny, little bitty, and they're too small to even eat baby brine shrimp. So anyway, I started feeding the phytoplankton. I've seen them eat it, and so that's good. So yeah, that is good. But I think that I'm kind of over the white cloud breeding. Although it's fun, it's just I don't have the real estate to dedicate that entire tank to it, especially when I got people coming in wanting fish, and I'm like, well, I'm not putting nothing in this tank because I'm wanting to grow out the fry. So I'm not going to worry with that, especially now since I got my discus, which what a soap opera that is, between who likes who and who's paired up with who and who don't like who. Um, but maybe, you know, I'm hoping to get some fry out of that. And I also have a breeding pair of koi angels that have spawned once, but they were not successful. The eggs turned white, and I'm not sure if the eggs turned white because of they weren't fertilized. I think that's what happened. I think I removed the eggs too soon, and they just weren't fertilized. And then over the next few days, you know, they just all turned white, fungused up and whatnot. Yeah, and from what I understand, the white clouds they breed pretty easy. It's literally just the trick of getting the fry, you know, to be big enough to move. And like I said, right now I have I think 4 fry in there, and the breeding pair is gone. And white clouds are not easy to find right now. I've been trying to order white clouds and glass catfish for about 3 months, and I can't find them. I cannot find the white clouds. Yeah, Bob, that's what I assumed. The long fin white clouds are beautiful, beautiful fish. I think those fish are really underrated. I get a lot of people in here when I do have like 10 or 12 of them in a tank, and they're all schooling around, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what is that?" Right, that's a white cloud minnow. They're like, "I've never seen it before. So pretty." Like, yeah, they're definitely underrated. You'd think they'd be pretty thick in the hobby because of the ease of breeding and the the quantity that they breed. But apparently the if you're like, let's say for example, you have a 55-gallon tank that you're going to breed fish in, and you can breed white cloud minnows and sell them for $1 a piece, or you can breed discus and sell them for $10 a piece. What are you going to use that water for? So I guess people just aren't using that real estate for that fish. White Cloud Dynasty. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't. I would order like 10 or 12, and to order 12 fish, the shipping's going to be at least $30 to get them here. So I wouldn't. There wouldn't be any kind of a from a business aspect, there wouldn't be any money there to be made when I could use that same tank and put in some Farewella catfish, which by the way I'm getting in tomorrow, something like that. It's managing a fish room or small fish shop there's a lot of ins and outs. It's fun, I love it, but there are lots of ins and outs. But I'm really hoping that my angels. Let me see here if I can. I don't know if y'all can even see the angels in here. They're pretty big. Let me see. I'm guessing y'all can see that I'm actually holding my laptop. Yeah, Bob, the discus are not an easy fish to keep. Hey, what I'm doing now, of course, I use my RODI system. Oh yeah, dude, keeping discus is, I mean, it's a hobby. You got to set up everything for it, and then you have to constantly monitor. I have a RODI system, which the water comes out. I'm sure if y'all have seen any of my streams, I always talk about this. The water comes out at a pH of 7. It goes into a 200-gallon holding vat, and I have air stones that are turning the water, but my pH drops to about 6.4 while it's in that vat. So I have not worried too much about it because, number one, the water's perfect for the discus. And number two, it seems that all of my fish are fine in a little bit of a lower pH. I don't seem to have any kind of stress or any kind of disease related with it. So I'm not going to worry with it until there's a need to. But yeah, so I use that. My water that I do about a 50% water change once or twice a week. And also I feed them. Let me show you all the food that I'm using. There is a place over in Johnson City, Tennessee, that it's a fish hatchery. They grow corals and plants. It's called Sustainable Aquatics. I'm sure that y'all have heard of them. Anyway, they made their own reef hatchery diet, and that is what I use in here. And apparently, it has enough nutrients in it to keep the discus healthy. Because typically, people who have discus will feed them. They'll do like a chopped liver, beef heart, or turkey. They have to do like prepared foods for them, and I don't have that time. I don't have that ability to do that up here. So I just give them these guys this food right here, and it seems like they're doing just fine. All of them are gaining weight. All of them are growing. Um, all of them are butt heads to each other, as you could see. But yeah, right now I have a turquoise, a yellow rafflesia, a red rafflesia, and 2 melons. I think the melons used to be called Marlboros, but since nobody smokes anymore, well, not nobody, but since smoking is not a popular thing to do anymore, they decided to call them a melon. Oh, do you make a prepared food for your discus, or if that's what you're referring to, they're redfish, bluefish? Yeah, StreamYard lag is no fun. No fun. But yeah, y'all can't really see that. But yeah, the larger melon, it was sick. It had I came in, I guess, about a week ago, and it had about a 3-inch. It looked like a tube full of snot sticking out of his booty, and I was like, oh no. I don't know exactly what that is. Some of you more experienced fish keepers may know exactly what that is, but I've been dosing with meds, and he is still eating, still chasing, still flirting. So I'm assuming he is okay. I am assuming it. Well, maybe redfish, bluefish got busy again. Heck, I don't even know how much longer my battery is going to last here. I got about 30 minutes left. What saltwater fish have you got? Right now, I have a yellow-eyed coal tang, a blue spot, yellow goby, filefish, several clownfish, Sri Lanka anthias, shark goby, lawnmower blenny, some damsels, some chromis. Hey, what's up, Sandy? Yellow tang. I had a couple of wrasses, but those got sold. And I got all kinds of just, inverts, like banded sea serpents, uh, fire shrimp, cleaner shrimp, peppermint shrimp. I don't really carry a whole lot of decorative fish. For example, like let's say an emperor angel, beautiful fish, But the thing is, most people, not everybody, but most people don't have the right setup for that animal. And on top of that, they keep on putting them in reef tanks. And an emperor angel can go in a reef tank, and you may be fine for a year or two. But one day that fish can just switch on, and it'll come in, it'll eat all of your hard stony corals. It's just so I don't carry anything that I'm going to get a call back later on saying, "Hey, you sold me this fish, it did this," and you can do that. So that's why I don't carry any angels unless somebody, hey, I have a 300-gallon fish only tank, and I'm like, oh, cool. Then we'll do the fox phase. Well, I guess fox phase more friendly, but be like, yeah, we'll get some angels, some emperor angels, or some, whatever is not necessarily considered a reef tank can go in that, as long as they got the habitat for them. But most people do not. You'd be surprised how many fish at regular fish stores are sold to people. Like for example, the copper band butterfly. Uh, those things are great at eating Aptasia, but you kind of have to get them to eat prepared food sometimes. So they're hard and they're expensive. So, I don't carry those for Aptasia control. I carry peppermint shrimp and filefish for my Aptasia control problems. Those two have seemed to be the best and non-problematic in the future. Although some people say that filefish will eat corals, but I've never seen that. I have never seen that. And another reason why I don't carry too much salt water here is most of the people that I have had come in, they're looking for freshwater fish and plants. I'm in North Mississippi, and pretty much the saltwater hobby is going to be mostly north of me. So the people that are in Memphis, they're going to go to the stores in Memphis instead of driving all the way to Mississippi to come see me. Although some people do, and when they do, I appreciate the heck out of it. And I'll tell you another funny thing about these discus. So the turquoise and the small melon to the, well, I guess you can see where I'm pointing. Those guys had paired off and bred once before, and I put other fish in there with them. Long story short, I put other fish in there with them, and the female, she just don't care. She goes to all the males and flirts and does her twitches, and the males don't like that. But then again, right now, like the yellow receipt, that's a female. She's chasing the small male. It's almost like Hunger Games in that tank. Luckily, there's no disease or no ripped fins or nothing like that. Just a little bit of a discus aggression. I'm kind of wondering if my stream is turned off. I hadn't seen any people in chat, or maybe I'm just talking too much or being too boring. No, well, if any, okay, well, it looks like maybe my my stream is not doing right. Well, at any rate, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. I appreciate every one of y'all for stopping in and checking it out. And people, if you're interested in seeing how I dose my tanks up here, at the beginning of this video, I went around and I dosed my fresh and salt water. So you can see how I do that there. And if you have any comments about it or a way that I can even improve the situation or another product that I can use that I'm not using, I'm interested. I'm most certainly interested. And at the end of this, I'm gonna take a cue from Danikins Aquatics. Great guy, great channel. But I do want to take a moment of silence for Sand Creek. He's a fellow Mississippian, and although I never met him a real person, it's a loss to us. We're not a huge group, but we're all friendly, and losing someone's never easy, and it's not easy for anyone. So I'd like to take a moment of silence for Nathan. Okay, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all take it easy.